I think you should be going balls to the wall, balls out, doing something with your balls.
The Technicals.
All right, guys, welcome back. The Antminers are chooching. The L3 Pluses are chooching to a much lesser degree. And I actually have my GPU mining rig out here because it's really, really cold outside. That is garbage, ignore that. But I've had the S21 operating now a little bit over a week, full week, all the way through. So I wanted to check in with you guys and let you know how I'm doing on the S21 because it was a big purchase, but it kind of future-proofs me a little bit as it pertains to, you know, hardware that could be coming out. Now, sure, S21 Pros or Js or As or Bs or Cs may come out, but this is the hot new thing. So I've got one of these. I'm going to take you through the profitability thus far. Look, I used an actual printer to print something out. So going through the data here a little bit, the total revenue day by day, just for one calendar week, that was the total revenue I took in with the S19J Pros and the S21. So I cut it in half, just the S21 itself, just the wattage that the S21 is pulling. And to calculate that, all I did was disconnect one of the S19J Pros because the S21 and one of the Pros is on this 50 amp PDU, and calculated it based on the volts and the total amps that it was pulling, which came out to just over 3,500 watts, which is in line with where it should be. Taking that and doing your watt hours per day, pulling it into kilowatt hours per day, that brings us down to about 603 total kilowatt hours for that week, for that 7-day period. And then we multiply that by, we're taking 10 cents. Now, as I've said before, my electricity cost is a little bit less. It's like 0.93 or something, 0.93 or something, but that's in my house. This building has its own electric service, and so the fixed fees kind of hike that up because I'm not using as much power here. My main house, I use a lot of juice just for my day-to-day because I'm a prissy boy and I need all my juice. So we're taking 10 cents, and that will that we're gonna hold that to be true. So that comes out to about $60 for that week in order to mine 0.00272095 Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin kind of down right now, not doing great. As of this morning, 41,309, still up a lot this year, but that comes out to about $112, $60 on electric. You can do the math from there. Total profit, $52 for 1 week. For 1 week, one machine, okay? That comes out to about $7.44 per day, which if you've been looking at ASIC miner value, what to mine, hashrate.no, any of the other calculator sites, that is about perfectly in line with where it says that this machine will be. So obviously, because you know the data is all correct, but with the price fluctuations and everything, it comes out to that. So if you are a brand new miner and you're looking at one of these and you know you're just now getting into it and you think ASIC is the direction that you want to go, you know, it's hard for me to recommend, or it's easy for me to say, yeah, just go out and get an S21. But the efficiency that you're going to get out of the S21, you're going to need it after the Bitcoin halving, because again, as I've said before, a lot of people tuning their ASICs, their Bitcoin ASICs, their SHA-256 ASICs for efficiency right now. I don't believe in that, especially before the halving. I think you should be going balls to the wall, balls out, doing something with your balls to get as much Bitcoin as possible before the halving. Now, what the price may do, go up and down after the halving, we don't know, but typically within about a year after, things really start to ramp up. So I think right now, while the block reward is high, you need to be going full bore and getting it, because I kind of illustrated that here in our hopium delusion category. These are the prices of Bitcoin if it gets to these levels versus what we did just this week. So we're hanging on to everything. We're not selling out to finance our electricity. We're floating the cost. We're just paying for it. And then ideally price goes up, then we sell and we kind of lock in those profits. And when we do that, that makes what we've mined now all the much more profitable. So for example, Bitcoin goes to 50K, that becomes 136. That 112 becomes 136. The electricity cost is sunk. We already spent it. So it's not like that scales up with the price because we already spent it to mine the coins. So electricity costs would be the same. That means our total profit comes out to $75 instead of the 60, and our total per day is $10.81 versus $7.44. And you can kind of do the math up from there. So a lot of people think Bitcoin's going to $1 million zillion. If it goes to $100,000, that means that we would have mined in 1 week $272. Same electricity, profit $211. 30, 25 per day for one machine. Again, that's assuming Bitcoin goes to $100,000 and we don't sell any of it. We hang on to it. We keep floating the electricity costs, etc., etc. But you want to extrapolate that out for a month. So let's say we mine for a month and everything's all the same. Difficulty stays the same, no interruptions. We still are minting our 0.00272 Bitcoin per week on the S21. All things considered, that 30, 25 that we're making per day, you know, that's significant if you extrapolate that out over a month, because, you know, that's like $1,000, give or take, for one machine in 1 month. And so if you say, oh, it's $1,000 profit in 1 month, that pays for the machine in, you know, 5 months. But again, we have a halving coming up. That's happening soon. 3 months from now, 4 months from now, maybe. So, you know, if you're a brand new miner getting into this, a lot of people recommend starting with CPU, GPU, because it's kind of easy to flex back and forth. ASICs are a lot of money. They cost a lot, and they brick because, you know, if, say, the coin that you get them for, something good happens with that coin or it's suddenly not profitable at all, you're screwed. And so that's why when it comes to sort of bespoke ones like, you know, X11 or any coin that's not SHA-256, to be honest with you. Large cap coins is what you want to stay on, in my personal opinion. Only buy ASICs for very large cap coins. You know, when Caspa first came out, I wasn't around, I wasn't hanging out in the crypto space. I would have seen an ASIC for it and I would have said, hell no. But now, you know, who's the dumbass now? Me, for not getting a KS3. Because those things are pulling right now $70 a day, $60 a day, something like that. Insane. But Bitcoin's the big dog. And so that's what I feel. If you're a brand new miner and you want to get on ASICs, you've got some play money, I'd probably recommend just going ahead and get an S21. Go ahead and get it in, you know, you can get them from China on a pre-order where it takes a couple months to get it. You can get them really cheap, less than $3,000. The only problem with that is that by the time you get it, you're only going to have like a week left, a month maybe, until the halving. But, you know, if that's what you want to do, take that into consideration. Because you buy one for immediate shipment or on eBay or out of the US, that's going to cost you like $5,000, $6,000. But all that extra time that you're mining, as you can see, could be worth it. But you're going to have to make that determination. You're going to have to roll the dice on that. It's completely up to you on what your risk tolerance is. But for me, you know, I'm having a great time with this thing. It's easy. You know, GPUs is where I cut my teeth. You know, that's where I've been. But ASICs, I like ASIC mining because you just kind of set it and forget it. There's not a lot of problems. There's not a lot of upkeep. There's a reason the big dogs use them because you can just kind of set them and run. You know, I haven't had to do anything with these. Really no problems whatsoever. Obviously some problems with the L3 Pluses because they're old as hell. I switched the S19J Pros over to Brains. Great platform, like it a lot. But for the S21, you know, out of the box, it's still running the Antminer firmware. And it's chooching. I mean, the results are right here. So that's my experience this one full calendar week with the S21. We'll revisit it probably after it's been going for a full month. We'll check in on it periodically because obviously it's a big piece of equipment that we've invested a lot of money into. And so we want to see how it performs and see maybe, you know, if it's something that's right for all the rest of you. We'll probably go through and do a more complete farm update and what our plans are for expansion. We're working on the CPU mining rig right now. That's kind of the focus. But I think I want to revisit the GPUs because 3 GPUs, I said that's where I was going to stick. And I really want to only stick to one rig. But since I have arguably the best Bitcoin miner on the market right now. I have probably the top end CPU for mining right now. I'm thinking maybe I should revisit the GPUs and do something similar with maybe having a one rig, but large and full of really high-end cards. Maybe that's something to work towards. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments below, because honestly, I'd rather have one 8-card or 12-card rig full of 4090s that I could just point wherever I want to go and destroy, versus having a whole bunch of rigs, more moving parts, more potential for error, more upkeep, more maintenance, more blah, blah, blah. It's you know, it's just more to deal with. So keeping it simple makes this process a whole lot more palatable. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you considering an S21? Are you considering looking at S19J Pros or S19K Pros because they're much more efficient? Or maybe an XP, because after the halving, that efficiency is going to be the saving grace for a lot of miners, because it's going to be a whole new world after the halving with Bitcoin mining. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you want to see me add? You want to see me add a KS0 or pick up some cheap shit to try to tinker with it and see what I can do? I can't fit a whole lot more. I only got 200 amps here, and these bad boys are pulling like, what, 50? So I'm running out of room real fast, but I'm still interested to know what you guys are doing right now, what you would like to see, if you like this style of video where it's just kind of fast and easy, not a lot of editing, and just kind of an update. Again, appreciate you watching this far through. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.